right, here we go. This is the Common Council meeting to be held Tuesday, August 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The meeting is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Present.
Alderperson Bailey.
Present.
Alderperson Kastner.
Present.
Alderperson Sarian.
Present.
Alderperson Akers.
Present.
Item B, opening prayer. We have Deacon Leggett here. Item C is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please join me as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's move along to item D. There are two corrections. It's the approval of the July 15th, 2025 Common Council meeting minutes. The first one was there was a discussion that this was the old Genesis and Embers building. That's a quote that should be it is in the minutes, but it should be under agenda item K6, or should be it's under K6, but should be under K5. And then I think you received the email too with regard to the motion that when we came out of closed session,
That one's for the next. This is for the 725.
oh, that's the next one. I'm sorry about that. Yep, that's on the 25th one. So with that one correction, I'd entertain a motion to correct the July 15th minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes with that correction
Motion
stated.
by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Juzwicki, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Sorry, under item E, approval of the July 25th special common council minutes. There's a correction to those minutes that I think you have received. Under B4, it should read discussion and possible motion to approve the limited waiver subject to the conditions discussed in closed session. The motion under that should be motion by Alderperson Bailey, second by Alderperson Juzwicki to approve subject to the conditions and limitations discussed in closed session. On a roll call vote, motion carried unanimously from what's presented. I'd entertain a motion
Motion to approve with those stated corrections.
by Alderperson Kastner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Juzwicki. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Under Mayor's report, I'll try to keep it brief. There's been some rain in the city about a week ago, if anyone hasn't noticed.
In some cities.
8 to 10 inches of rain fell within that 24-hour period. I know that I think there are 505 reported instances of residential home damage. We've created mapping and we've done all that to figure out where it is. I suspect that's just a part of it, because if you look at the map, you see red, white, white, red, 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 white, right? Some of the neighborhoods were were obliterated. It looked like a bomb went off, especially near 92nd and Allerton and those neighborhoods over there. There are neighborhoods throughout. There is a, I have received a number of calls with regard to the lack of insurance presence or coverage for much of the damage. We don't get involved in that. We're meeting with FEMA, I guess, where FEMA is supposed to be coming to town for unreimbursed or uninsured losses. I'm not even sure if FEMA really exists and to what extent it lists. That's a whole complicated story that I could probably talk for hours about. One thing I do want to say, though, is that it looked like a war zone in some neighborhoods on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. I had the privilege of being on Fox News because somebody complained that, it wasn't picked up yet. We were trying to secure dumpsters. We were trying to secure the equipment to do it. Our DPW crews have worked nonstop in cooperation with their refuse hauler, Johns. And the first wave of refuse has been picked up. The second wave, most of it has been picked up. We're expecting third and fourth waves as people come back from vacation or they realize that this was bad or that was bad.
I know they were working Saturday, they came down my subdivision on Saturday.
Just so everyone's aware, whether or not FEMA is reimbursing the city for these losses, which is something that it should do, even if they don't, the city's not going to sit on their hands and wait for others to make good decisions or bad decisions or no decisions at all. It was critical to get that stuff up. I mean, there was rain that followed last weekend. There was heavy rains last night again. Our crews will continue to work until it's no longer necessary. We had about an hour and a half, 2-hour meeting this morning with all the folks that are working towards getting us back sort of on track and complying with the incredibly unreasonable demands put forward through the County Emergency Management Office on behalf of either the state or FEMA or whoever. Our office people, Brian included, we're being required to do certain things like describe to the engineering unit how much it's going to cost to fix this, as opposed to it's a bad manhole that has sunk. We expect it to be about $15,000. We can't do that. We have to have units of this, and we're working. Brian is working feverishly along with our engineering companies, our consultants, to try to get some of that information together. The reality is, much of the damage isn't going to be noticed for months. We will be putting cameras and running them through the adversely impacted sanitary and storm sewers to make sure that the integrity is good. But we're expected to have our numbers in by Monday of next week, and maybe even by tomorrow, based on another email that we got from some other project manager from the county's emergency management office. So we're working diligently to solve those problems. And I don't want to sound corny or silly, but I'm really proud of the staff that we have. When we needed to get notices out to have people report, our police department, was there in a heartbeat and got the stuff out. Our emergency management manager, Tom, our fire chief, has not been sleeping much, trying to comply with the stuff that just kind of gets thrown at us from above. I could gripe and I could complain for hours, but the point is that the people that we have working at the local level are really doing a phenomenal job and should be applauded. The next time I hear somebody say, "Oh, they never do anything, they're this, they're that, they're whatever." No, they do it, and they do it extremely well. And I think most of the alderpersons we've been in touch with have seen it with their own eyes.
DPW showed up with those front-end loaders to take that. That was just great.
Yeah, so it takes some time to coordinate that and to get everything going. The good news is, if there is good news, people haven't been impacted by the flooding either, and they still have yard waste, and they still have garbage, and they still have special pickups. Tomorrow, I expect yard waste to return to its normal schedule, believe it or not. I don't know if it's going to be starting tomorrow or Thursday or Monday of next week. We're still working that out. Regular containered garbage can pickup, that, you know, the normal garbage, that has remained uninterrupted. It'll continue as it has been. The flood damaged piles that still accumulate will be addressed and picked up. And we encourage you to contact the Department of Public Works if you have or you see any of those kinds of things. I think we have a pretty good handle on it, but we may not. Those won't be the special pickups that you call John's to get. And if you were in one of those areas that didn't have any damage, but you're just getting rid of your couch, that's the kind of thing that you would call John's to do a special pickup for. The likelihood is that it'll be picked up probably as storm damage, maybe. And if it is, please let John's know that the scheduled special pickup can be canceled. Again, normalcy is returning, and it seems like things are drying out, and everybody at the city is working diligently to address those issues. Anybody want to add anything else?
Did our creek project help?
One thing that, you know, we can, so making, this is a good point, and I think we need to bring it up. So when we make Conkle Park, I don't know if many of you have gone to Conkle Park, and it looked like a bomb exploded in the southern part, you know, and then after 2 years, it looks like it's kind of filling in, and it's, that was a stormwater project, in essence. And yes, it has a shelter, and yes, it has a path, and yes, it has all these cute amenities. With the kind of rainfall that we've had with this last event, had that not been there, the flooding downstream, and we're talking like 43rd and Edgerton going kind of almost all the way to Ramsey and College, would have been much more severe. I was out there when, not during the storm, but immediately thereafter. It was high. The lake or pond that's in there was to the rim. It was working exactly as it was supposed to be. So while I have gotten gripes about, you know, why are you doing that stupid stuff, and why aren't you doing this, and why aren't you doing that, it probably saved hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars worth of damages upstream on Honey Creek. It actually worked. Didn't work completely. There were some spots at 43rd and Edgerton where there were backups, but we know that now, and we can work to address that. Most of those backups were caused, I'm told, by the inadequate size of the bridge over the creek on Loomis. So we have to work probably with the DOT to try to get that fixed. I don't know if that's true. Is that true, Brian? Brian's an engineer. He says it's true. It's true. It's partly true. So there's this other component, right? There were some situations it wouldn't have mattered if you had power, because there was literally no place to put the water. In some places, it did matter that you lose power because the storm sewers were open, or wherever the sump pump was going, there was a place for it to go. But I've been around here as mayor, I guess, 20 years, alderperson another 7, and I've lived here my entire life. I have never seen water that high. The Rose Guy over in Brookdale Meadows, right? Usually when it floods that parkway, and it's usually a foot, 18 inches, maybe 2 feet deep. At the northern end of his property, where his gardens are and all that stuff, it was 6 to 8 feet high. As you moved up towards his house, it was 2 to 3 feet deep. And that's just, that I've never seen that before. People, you know, well, why is this happening? Why doesn't the city do something? There's no sanitary sewer, storm sewer designed to catch or to hold or to be immune from 10 inches of rain that falls in 24 hours, or 8 inches, to be honest. Most storm sewers are designed for 25 to 50-year events, I think. This was, by some reports, a 500 to 1,000-year event. That means the probability of it happening is 1 in 1,000 years. Since I've been around, we've had, if this is a 100-year event or a 500-year event, I don't know what it is. We had a 100-year event in 2008, 2009, which was, and the damages from that one, I think, were actually worse than the damages from this one, despite this one having higher water levels than, I think, than that one did. Most of the power was out in the city during that one, almost the entire city. So, I don't know. Just want everybody to know we're working on it, and we'll continue to work on it. Aldermanic reports? None. Announcements, I don't really have any announcements. Under citizen
I have
commentary,
one announcement, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to remind people that this coming Sunday, we're having Forestry Nature Fest at Kunkel
Kunkel.
Park. And we invite everybody to come and be a part of that. It's going to be pretty interesting. We're even going to have some aviary kind of thing, the falcons and owls and that display. The whole tree commission, including Alderperson Drzwicki, will be there helping out. There'll be booths and information on different things affecting our city regarding trees and other nature things.
fantastic.
And you speak of falcons, there was somebody that posted a photo of a falcon in Kunkel Park, and it wasn't one that was,
There was actually a posting of a bald eagle in Greenfield in someone's front yard recently too, which is kind of cool.
Might have been spying on the football team.
Could be. Could be. I don't know.
Hawk, falcon.
oh, and the AMP is rocking tonight, too.
Yeah, so this is our last outdoor event, big outdoor event at the AMP. I guess we're not gonna, we may have a common council. I might have to call a special common council meeting in the first week of September, just so everyone's aware. If you're not gonna be around, let me know. September 13th is our 9th annual car show at Kunkel Park, which is my favorite event. I'm not sure the parks people like it all that much.
Those are my grandsons.
Yeah, I know you love it, but yeah, but it's,
I love it,
So-
too, the exhaust, and I'm going to have a birthday party at my house for my youngest grandson that day.
nice, very nice. Do you want to?
Save some
Do
parking
you want to
for him.
invite people this under announcement?
They'll go to the.
All right.
they'll go there.
Citizen commentary. I have two people here, Terry Klum and Tabitha Meyer. Are you here for a public hearing or anything, or are you here for something else? Okay, so we're going to just hold you off until that, okay? Okay, so let's move to item J, the public hearings. The first one is a public hearing on a special use permit for the UPS Store, proposed private mail carrier business to be located at 7915 West Layton, submitted by Ramsey Shawar and Kirsten Coons of Cushman and Wakefield. This is to approve the resolution for the special use permit and approve the site review for the UPS Store.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This UPS store is going into the former Sports Clips site there. The store will occupy approximately 1,300 square feet of tenant space in the building. It's Zone C4, so this is a special use. It will have 6 full-time employees. The hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. The building, with all of its tenants, requires 454 parking spots. 397 are provided. Common Council may waive the shortage. During the Plan Commission meeting, they had talked about a dumpster enclosure for the unenclosed dumpsters in the rear of the building. The property owner has already submitted a site plan for their plans for a new 12 by 24 dumpster enclosure that will be installed within the next 12 months. Plan Commission recommended approval on July 8th. No letters of support or objection have been received to date.
Is there anyone that'd like to speak for or against for informational purposes concerning this item? Is there anybody here from Cushman & Wakefield? Probably not. You are? I'm the owner. You're the owner? You're the guy that's going to do the UPS store? Yes. It's about time. No, seriously, it's like this. You're going to be incredibly busy there. Just with me, probably, and Amazon. So, all right. Does anybody else want to speak for or against for informational purposes concerning this item? I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Second.
By Alderperson Akers, second by Alderperson Caster. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I entertain a motion to approve the resolution for the special use permit and the site plan review
Motion to
as
do that.
presented by Alderperson Kastner. Is there a second by Alderperson Bailey? Would you call?
Alderperson Drewzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do you want to add anything? Not a good idea to add stuff after it gets approved. Item 2, public hearing on a special use permit for Lake Car Glass, a proposed automotive glass replacement supplier to be located 4420 South 108th Street, submitted by Matt Nazari. Is he here this evening? There, that's right. Doing business as Lake Car Glass. This is to approve the resolution for the special use permit as well as the site plan review.
Thank you, Ms. I apologize for not updating the photos on that. So ignore the photos, those are from the previous J1, so ignore the photos. But Lake Car Glass will occupy 2,700 square feet of tenant space in the building located at 4420 South 108th Street. The property is Zone C4, so this is a special use. There will be one full-time employee. Hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. It requires 4 spaces, 60 are provided on the site. Plan Commission recommended approval on July 8th. No letters of support or objection have been received to date.
Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against informational purposes concerning this item? Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against or for informational purposes concerning this item? Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing.
Alderperson Kastner, second by Alderperson Akers. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Entertain a motion to approve both items as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve both items. Didn't understand the name at first, but after Sunday morning, I do now.
All right. Okay.
Adjacent to it later.
Motion was by Kastner, second by Drewzwicki. Would you call?
Alderperson Drewzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay, item 3 is a public hearing on a special use permit for Hacienda Chivalin Food Truck, a proposed food truck business located 5110 West Loomis, submitted by Floralia Telez Ortiz. This is to approve a resolution for a special use permit as well as approve the site plan review.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is,
Have just one quick, if you're here to speak for or against their informational purposes, can we get those slips? Because they're part of the public hearing. Is there anyone else that needs to sign a slip? Okay, sorry. You're the applicant? Okay. So what I would do if I were you, I would sit there, and then I'm guessing there are people that are going to say some things about your place, and you might want to keep an eye on what they're saying, because you'll probably end up responding to it. Okay, sorry.
all right. So Hacienda Chivalin is an existing restaurant. This is to use the restaurant as a home base for a food truck. The property is Zone C2, so this is a special use. There will be 2 full-time and 2 part-time employees. The hours of operation are 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Parking requirements, 113 are required. 2 are going to be used for the parking of the food truck on the site. 111 are provided. Common Council may waive the shortage. When this appeared for the first time before Plan Commission, there were concerns regarding the landscaping on the site. In the image, you can see just some of the changes that have been made since Hacienda Chivalin took over. It ultimately, Plan Commission required that they get a landscape plan. One has been submitted, but has not yet been approved by the city forester. Plan Commission did recommend approval of this on July 8th. No letters of support or objection have been received to date.
Okay. So this is the public hearing. So you're going to have to go to the microphone. If you signed up for the public hearing, if there's anyone that would like to sign up for this public hearing, it's the goldenrod colored pieces of paper. So there are 2 people that have signed up at the public hearing. Both are speaking against. The first one is Terry Kelm, 5301 West Edgerton. You're a homeowner nearby. So, you want to go first? Okay, so you're Tabitha Meyer? Okay, so the other thing too is if you're both going to say exactly the same thing, if you okay, if you are, just I go through this with everybody. It's like if you agree with everything that she said, you don't have to repeat it. You can just say I agree with everything she said, and I'm adding this on. Otherwise, okay. So Tabitha Meyer, 5229 West Edgerton. You're adjacent homeowner or close to being a homeowner. Yep. Come on up. And let me make sure your mic is on before we start. Okay, you should be good.
Hi, my name is Tabitha Meyer. Last name is Meyer. My address is 5229 West Edgerton Avenue. I am located 3 houses down from Haciendas. Ever since they have opened, I have made multiple noise complaints regarding the loud bass that has been heard in my house, where it's to the points I can hear stuff making rattling noises. Like I said, I've talked to police officers. They've gone and spoke with them. I have Ring camera footage of the actual bass noise that you hear. You don't actually hear the actual music sounds. But if your windows are open, it's louder than it is without the windows being, without them being closed. I have 3 children, 2 of which are on the autism spectrum, and they have different levels that, you know, require certain things. Both of them, one of my children who's 13 refuses to sleep with his window open in the fall because the bass is so loud that it keeps him up. My other son, whose bedroom is literally on the back side of our house, which we share basically kind of a parking lot area where it's like if I go in my backyard, I can see their property from my backyard. So it's constantly, like when it's late at night, it seems like the music gets louder. And like I said, I've even spoke with an officer last year, I believe, that has told me that they were gonna actually issue a citation regarding the noise complaint, and the loud music still continues. Since then, like I said, this is the most recent time of me calling the police and having my Ring camera actually being able to pick up the bass noise is August 2nd, and this was at 1 o'clock in the morning that I called, and their hours fluctuate sometimes. They'll say they're open, they'll say they're closed. I've like checked their Facebook page sometimes when the music is really loud. Sometimes they have live music performances there, and I'm not sure if you guys, I don't know what's the approval of whatever can go on there, but it's loud, it's really loud music. So I have the issue with that. Another most recent issue that has been going on is just on August 7th, there was a gentleman that popped up in my backyard, and I had never seen him before, and I was speaking with my neighbor who lives directly next door to us, and I approached the gentleman because I'd never seen him. He was on my property. He informed me that he was from the restaurant and that he was flying his drone through the backyards, and it somehow landed on my house. My husband did pull out a ladder. We could not find it. We did call the police because it was just somebody we have never seen before. They went and spoke with the gentleman. The gentleman said he's related to the homeowners next door, but when she was outside, she had never seen him before. Not only did he was on our property, he left trash in our backyard, a drink cup that he was carrying with him, he left in our backyard. Another issue is that since them owning the property, my neighbor and I have been cutting the portion that stretches to the back of our property, which if you go back a frame, you can see both our properties. My property, well, I guess my property is not the very first one, but it's right next to the second one. And I'm not sure if when Carl's Catering was the owners, they cut the whole strip and back. So I don't know who owns that part, but they have not cut it since then. There is just issues of just the fact that if you're going to be here in the community and you want the community to be up for things that you want to do, you have to show support and actually give care about what's going on, and it seems like they have no respect for the fact that the police have shown up multiple times about the loud bass of the music, or even like when I said when our windows are open, you know, and I do see sometimes when I'm sitting outside, cop cars do come and go. I'm not sure what the issues are, but I just feel like adding a food truck to basically the property is going to just bring in more kind of issues with the loud music, whatever issues that with the police stuff. I actually just found out about this meeting tonight. I just got back from out of town. She stopped by and let me know. I didn't receive no notice of this hearing or nothing like that. She has a paper, so I'm just a little confused. If I'm 3 houses down and she's about 5 or 6, she got one, but I didn't receive one. So I'm not sure how do I, in the future,
So typically, they're 300 feet from the property line in all directions.
okay.
So if you're 300 feet, you should have received one in there.
Yep, I did not receive one. Yes, we just actually purchased on a land contract last June.
Okay, so is the property still in, is it in?
It's our name. We just pay, like, the old owner is in real estate, and we basically have a contract drawn up with him, but the water bill's in our name, the sewer
So
bills,
is it
the property
legal-
tax,
Is the legal title in your name?
I believe so. We have all the.
Because if, wherever the tax bill goes, unless there's a new tax bill being generated because you just purchased it, it went to somebody who
See,
owns the property.
And that's what I was curious about, because the gentleman, because it's through a land contract, and we basically pay him, and he pays everything until we, yeah, so maybe it did go to him, but he did not let us know, so, but I just, like I said, I found out tonight, and I just wanted to come and voice my concerns regarding adding more to the business, and the fact that it just is already kind of an issue in the neighborhood.
Agreed, and I will just say for the record that I get the police reports every day, and there are a number of complaints about the noise, and there have been. I was just looking back, there were a number of them all summer long, going from what I can see on my phone, because it only goes so far back.
I have at least 3, at least once a month I've called with issues of
And-
1 o'clock in the morning, and like I said,
I don't think they're all from you either.
oh, no, I know they're not,
So
because I was
I
actually
do
gonna.
too, just
Yeah.
so-
It's not my job to call all the time, but it is annoying to have to deal with it,
Okay,
and that's all I have.
okay. Did
Thank you.
Okay, the next person to speak is Terry Kelm, right?
I fully agree with her on this. Our street, almost every house has children. Okay, we own our homes. He's got a business, he is extremely disrespectful. They ride ATVs around in this huge parking lot. I walk my dogs they're old dogs. I go down to Layton and Loomis, his entrance is right there. I've almost gotten hit with people coming in your place. You have no signs, he has nothing there. My dogs have almost gotten hit. There's sketchy people in the parking lot blasting music constantly. Isn't there a snow ordinance? I walk my dogs, I've almost fought, they don't even shovel at all. They just started cutting the grass maybe a month ago. I have never seen we live there. I own my home. And I'm not for this at all. You wouldn't want this down your street. Anyone here want that? Anybody? I can walk out my backyard. It used to be beautiful, dark. He cut down all the branches, so now all the lights from his parking lot shine all the way down our backyards. We have no darkness whenever they're open. You can check it out. I can go on and on and on, but you wouldn't want this in your living anywhere near you. It's really treacherous down there walking. Like I said, there's nothing, nobody stops. They peel in there. They're disrespectful. There's garbage all over the place. I'm so upset because we just had a flood, and like you just mentioned, thank you for bringing that up. My insurance is not covering me. So luckily my sons helped me, and I have to thank you. They picked it up immediately. So you did an awesome job on that. It's just a lot at once.
Okay.
But do not approve this.
Okay, so I just preside over the public hearing, so.
Well, I'm just saying,
They-
it's really bad.
Okay.
I think you understand what I'm saying.
Did you want to? Sure. You're the applicant?
Correct, yeah. So first of all, good afternoon. I do want to offer a sincere apology. We've been in that place for 2 years. Like I said, well, I'll start off with the first person that spoke. That far corner, there's like a mountain of gravel and swings. So I personally, mow the lawn all the way to that far corner. And, we've been doing this 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, all around the property. The tree issues was that they were, almost touching clients' cars, and we had some branches fall, like with thunderstorm and stuff like that. So we had to trim those branches. We've had live music, live entertainment. We use the far right corner of the building. We installed double doors. We're trying to put like flowers so it can keep, the sound waves from traveling that far. I've gone outside, 12 a.m., because we get, a lot of police reports, and I'll go outside and, it's like, you'd hardly hear anything. Sounds like somebody has headphones on, from a far distance. However, we're asking for permission for the restaurant to be the base for the taco truck. There's not gonna be the truck won't be operating on or near that property. We're gonna send it elsewhere. Like I said, yeah, just to have it there, we're gonna use the kitchen for the cooking, restock what's in the truck, and then it'll be on its way. But yeah, like I said, I do want to offer a sincere apology. We can work stuff out. We've been victim of burglary, vandalism on our property. That's why we try to keep as much lights on. While we're messing around with the hours, we might close. We won't stay later than we're supposed to, but we will open later than what we normally do because we're new on the block, stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, we had sketchy people in our parking lot. They don't belong to the business, to the restaurant. They're just there with their doors open, on their phone. We've had truck drivers go in there. We don't mind. They're probably just on the phone or stuff like that. They're always on the farther end towards Edgerton. But yeah, like I said, we've also been victim of vandalism. Stuff has been stolen from our property also. That's why we try to keep, the property, the building, as illuminated as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for him?
I have a few.
Okay.
One of them is, since this borders residential properties, don't we have ordinances about fences in that? And to my knowledge, there is no fencing for these neighbors here. The other thing with the lighting, I know we've dealt with it. I thought it was at this restaurant, but maybe it was somewhere else, about getting the downward lights that don't go out. And as for sound, I think Scott back there can attest to some of our history with sound and how it travels. It may be very, very quiet right around your restaurant, and Scott and I can attest to that with our community center, that if you walked around it, it was pretty quiet. But about 2.5 blocks away, the way the sound traveled, it was extremely loud in their backyard. And we didn't realize that until we went to their backyard and discovered that, I think it was our skylight, right, Scott, that was the issue? And the noise was traveling funny. So for you to just walk around your property and say it's not noisy, that's not how sound travels. I live right across from Conkle Park, and I can attest to how bass noises travel in your house and how disturbing those really are. And I'll have to go back to when we did the fundraiser for the turf, and we had quality sound people do it, and there was absolutely no sound that approached us right across the street from Conkle Park, as opposed to what's going on tonight, Scott. The sound is, is the bass is in my house. So those are some of the things that I guess I have questions about, like the sound, I think you need to deal with that. It's intrusive, and especially going on till 1 or after in the morning with kids. I don't find that acceptable. I think that has to be addressed. Also, like, I want to know, why don't we have a fence, and why can't we get the lights going down?
Yeah, just a couple of things. So the police reports, just so we're clear, and I can get them, I guess, and I'm kind of doing this from memory. So this isn't a situation where the police show up and they don't hear anything outside and it's traveling 6 blocks away. I remember a number of police reports that have stated that, yeah, we approached it and it was loud and we went in and we told them to do that. So I don't know what methods you use to determine whether sound is outside or inside, or whether it sounds like an earphone or a headphone, whatever, right? That sound's not supposed to be out of your building. And speaking on behalf of the community center, we spend all sorts of time and money and stuff to figure out how to not make it go out the building.
I can contest to that because I had my wedding there.
So,
And we weren't allowed to have loud music.
yeah, I'm just letting you know, right? I mean, so, yeah, and,
You're right.
all right, so I got it, right? With regard to taking care of the property and the cutting the grass and the trees and all of that stuff, I don't know when the picture was taken that's shown as an example, but if you were to look in your parking lot, adjacent to there's a boat, there's an RV, there's other stuff. There are things parked in the grass. Do you see that? It's just right there. That's your spot. See that?
I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't know if it may not still be there. I don't know what's there. I don't know what's not there. I do drive by there periodically, and there's stuff that's not supposed to be there.
Okay.
The restaurant, I mean, and that's part of your special use, right? And that's important that you demonstrate that you kind of care that there's not a bunch of junk in your backyard and other people. Well, my friend's storing his boat there for the summer. My buddy's got an RV. My mom, I don't know, right? That stuff's not supposed to be there, period, right?
Okay.
There's a site and landscaping plan that our city forester, and the design they submitted makes no sense for the site plans will work and are in numbers that don't make sense. We still need a site and landscaping plan. So if you look at, and I just want to point this out as factually and not rendering an opinion on whether a special use should be granted, but if you look on the May 2023 picture, which is kind of when you bought it-ish, right? And that site and landscaping kind of looked okay. I mean, it hadn't been taken care of for a while, and I understand that they were selling it, and I get all that stuff, right? But I want you to look at what it looks like now. And you tell me that you've improved the property, or you've even maintained the property to the level that it had been before. That's important. That's what special uses are for. That's why we're here. That's why when you say, I want to have a food truck there, that's not even yours. It's probably somebody else's. Maybe it is yours. I don't know. I'm guessing that sometimes there's a little reluctance when people, your neighbors, and just looking at the pictures, right? And just kind of like reading the police reports, right? The thing is, we all want you to be successful. We don't want the business to be vacant, right? And we understand that restaurants are having a tough go of it, and we understand that you have to do a lot to get people to do things. But you're struggling here with some of the basics just on the outside and with your neighbors. And do you get that?
I understand.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just kind of pointing out some of the things that were shown here.
Right, so may I go back and address the
Sure,
problem with
sure,
the drone?
sure.
Because I forgot. I do apologize. So we were working on doing the landscaping about like 2 weeks ago. A relative came over to help us out, and he lost his drone. The police did arrive. I spoke to them. We did apologize. I did, tell them that, hey, you can't just be going in people's backyards. Because what he did was where we were, cutting the grass on this side, we don't have a fence or anything, so he just started walking that way, looking for his drone. He did mention in front of the police officers that he had spoke with the neighbors, that one of them brought out a ladder, like she mentioned. So the officers made me tell him that, in front of, them, that he wasn't allowed to just go in, that he had a knock, and if nobody was there, come back another time. He was just messing with the drone, lost signal and lost it.
So just so you kind of understand that, do you realize how creepy it is?
Correct, yeah, no, I understand
Do
completely.
you, I mean, so we talk about houses and anybody's house here, if there's a drone flying around in the backyard of your house, which it's probably not supposed to do, but let's just, and the guy loses it, and the guy is walking around your backyard looking for his drone that probably shouldn't be flying over other people's yard, just as a matter of common courtesy and decency, that's sort of a problem. And I understand that you may have apologized and he may have apologized in whatever way that he did. So this is a restaurant, right? This isn't a place where people can, oh, you got a big parking lot, we'll go over there and race our, remote controlled cars or drones or, oh yeah, you park your boat there, right? It's supposed to look good. One of the things I think, and I'm not trying to be reprimanding, and I understand that this may be deviating a little bit from the issue of whether a truck can be there.
But I think your point is whether or not he can keep his special use permit for the restaurant or not if he doesn't actually make these improvements.
Yeah, so this is the other part of this, right? It's a special use permit, right? It's given to restaurants, it's given to things that require extra attention, right? Like restaurants.
Correct.
And I would strongly suggest that if you want to keep your restaurant and you don't want your neighbor showing up every time you want to do something, right? That there's more attention paid to the outside and more attention paid to the neighbors. I know restaurants in this community, and I think some of us probably do too, that the neighbors, when something's being proposed, the neighbors come in and support it. I'm not sure that your neighbors are coming in here to support how you're doing it. I'm not making any references to how good your food is or how good your parties are, or any of that stuff, because I've actually heard your food's pretty good.
Thank you.
But the reality is you can't keep doing what you're doing, and you gotta fix up your yard, and you gotta look at what is expected on those pictures. I mean, there's an expectation that your restaurant looks good. If your restaurant doesn't look good and things go to crap, then the values of their houses go down, and other things that are in the city that we're trying to elevate, so we're not like Milwaukee-ish, right? And we don't have those problems. That's really important, I would say.
Agreed.
Okay?
Can I say something?
Sure.
So, my name is Floralia. So, when we comparing the pictures from May 2023 and May 2025, when we get the place, it was too many trees and branches. It doesn't look a nice vision to the restaurant. We would like to engage with the neighbors and grow our business. I know there is not Mexican restaurants around that location. We thought it was a good inversion to have a Mexican restaurant around and engage with the neighborhood. But once when we started, we know the catering place, it was only for private events. You don't see them like doing events every day. It was maybe like once a week, Saturday and Sundays,
So
right?
before it was the catering place, it was Jolly Supper Club. And
Okay.
Jolly Supper Club was one of the best supper clubs around, and they had an amazing fish fry, and they had an amazing bar that was always open, and you could
Yeah.
sit there and you could do, just so you know. So
We-
yes, the last people,
Yeah.
they decided just to do their fish fries and have special events and all of that stuff. It doesn't matter.
We, as soon as when we started the restaurant, we started receiving calls from private numbers. And my last phone call that I received, it was a lady saying bad words to us. It was bad words. I cannot
She was
say.
swearing at you?
Yeah, just swearing and then saying like, place is gonna be locked down. Actually, in Google, this person, anonymous, write a big message on Google, a bad review,
Yeah.
trying to get people.
I can't completely hear you very well because I'm getting old and my hearing is going away.
Okay.
But if somebody calls and threatens you, you call the police.
They called many times,
If they do that, you call the police.
We didn't pay.
If these two people come into your restaurant and threaten you, you call the police on them. I'm not saying that you are.
We received.
I'm just saying, so when it
Yeah.
comes to that, what we're talking about right now is the use of land use,
Yeah,
and a special use to use that land in the city. And there are certain requirements that you need to do to continue to do that.
yeah,
When you opened your restaurant, there was this idea that the site would be kept clean.
yes.
And the site would have this, and the site would have that, right?
Yes.
And I'm not gonna get into all that stuff.
We're doing many changes right now. We want also the restaurant looking pretty. Also, if you see like a
I think
nice
it looks pretty
place.
right now.
We are working on it. We have flowers right now. It's clean. We clean the landscaping. We cut the grass every week, every Wednesday. Luis help us always to do that. Every day, our employees, they come around before they start their shift.
It
They
sounds
start at
like you're in
10
the right
o'clock.
track. but
They,
The
they,
sound stuff, this is a special use review,
Uh-huh.
right? The sound stuff has got to stop.
we get it.
The parking lot and the landscaping has to see measurable improvement. It has to.
It's
The
clean
people
now.
using your property to park and store other things, or to use
Now
it as
we
a drone
do know.
site,
Yeah,
has
we
to
get it.
stop, because that stuff can't continue. They will call every time that noise comes through there. They will do that. And you have to be aware that that's gonna happen, and they have the right to do that.
Of course.
You can't get involved. You have
Yeah.
spoken, so.
Honestly, we never had like party and the parking lot. People, they don't go cross the door. Crossing the door, they never take a drink, a bottle, nothing with them, not from a
That
restaurant.
needs to stay that way, but
Yeah.
we're talking about how your property looks and how you interact with people that are next door,
I don't-
and making sure that the sound doesn't leave your
Yeah.
building.
Did I
I
send
want
you
you to
the
be
new
successful. I
pictures?
want there to be people that go there and all of that. I do.
And-
But it has to be,
We want to continue
I
being
know
a
you do,
restaurant.
and I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm trying to
No,
be
it's
very
totally,
nice.
totally fine. We understand. But like a big owner invest a lot of money. Of course, we want to stay in the restaurant. We want to work hard and 100% to do our best we can. But also, it's like, I get it with her. She has kids. I have kids also. So I understand totally what is her point. But at one point also, it's like not telling or inciting more people to get complaints of the restaurant. I can invite her to stop by at the restaurant. We do mariachi lives and
The best thing that you could do is probably get to know each other and to try to make sure that
Yeah,
that stuff does, that,
because how she's gonna know about their food if she's never been there?
so it doesn't
you
matter
know.
what, so we're not even talking about your food, because
Exactly.
I will categorically say in front of all of us, that your food is probably really good. But it doesn't matter if the building looks like crap and there's stuff there that's not supposed to be there, and that. And you're
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
supposed to do those things. And so
we're
you may have the
working on
best
it.
restaurant in the world inside. But
We're
outside-
working
if I
on it.
may.
We have, we change, right in the entrance, we put more flowers. It's making,
And
Look
Gina can help you with
different.
those things, and those things need to be addressed, and we've given you time, I think, to do
Yeah.
that stuff.
we do.
Briefly, are we able to tie the erection of a fence along the western open part there to this particular special use permit that we're talking about now, considering this vehicle is large enough and probably will make additional noise, and to solve potentially two issues, maybe, have that included if they want to have said vehicle? Is that even possible, or is that something that would have to be taken up separate?
As part of the special use review, can we require the installation of a fence when the use is changing and there's something on the property that may need to be shielded? Can it be a condition of that?
Yes. Do we want to get into specifics, or do you just want a fence on the western property line?
Well, it has to be,
6
a
foot
s-
solid?
solid, or, maybe, depends how high that truck is. How high can we go?
So, it's like pretty much like, almost like 30 feet from where the parking lot starts to where their home line is, where their They're invisible fences, supposed to be.
Yes, General, so what I'm referring to is literally the western portion of that property
So-
lot, which is probably shared directly with 5203, at least,
No, it does not. share
50
driveway.
feet
It's
in
just
or
an empty
so.
lot.
No, the house is 5203.
yeah.
Right,
I
yeah,
mean, that's,
'cause-
that's almost 50 feet of fence from Edgerton probably
I
to
think they're
that, to that
talking
corner.
about this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can do that. We want to comply with the neighborhood, with
And I
everything.
think that
so
would
we-
help trash from blowing into their yards, and I don't know about the lighting issues.
It will help with the noise.
Yeah, so if we were to do that, is it a motion to amend now, or is it
You could
something else?
approve the special use subject to the installation of a
This
fence,
is what I'm wondering.
a 6-foot.
But what about the sound?
So so if they think that it will help with the sound and the lights and all of that other
I don't
stuff,
think a
that's
fence-
probably a good thing. But the
it's-
reality is, even if there's a fence there, you can't have, there's no guarantee that the fence is gonna stop the noise if the noise
fence is not
continues
gonna
at the
stop the
levels that it
noise.
is.
Correct.
It's not gonna stop.
Just saying,
Unless
correct,
we
we
get one of the sound barriers.
stop.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it could help. We could also, like we said in the other hearing, we're gonna install double doors on this other exit, because normally the music is on the far corner of the property that,
It's like
Adjacent.
small offices right in the back of the
I
building.
mean, no matter what happens, there's a responsibility for you to prevent the noise from getting there. And if you don't prevent the noise from getting there, there's a chance that you could lose your special use to have a restaurant.
I
I
understand.
need you to know that.
No, I understand.
And I'm thinking
completely.
just double doors aren't gonna help it.
It
Ours
may
was a
help. I don't know what's gonna help.
Our skylight was our issue, and you have a lot of windows that, things travel, and I think doors would help. But, we have
But if they're
double
open,
doors
they
on the
won't.
community center, and it didn't help us.
At the end of the day, the sound issue is its own issue, but inherently, because of what they are asking for, is there anyone up here on the council that would be opposed to making that amendment to allow them to have this said vehicle on their property at the moment? Or is everyone more or less against moving forward with this just because of the fact that there are other issues outstanding with the current special use for the restaurant itself?
I'm concerned about the other issues, and I don't know when the site plan, when that should have been taken care of, if we had a guideline on that, when they originally got the restaurant. I'm just concerned. I would like, part of me is, I'm not opposed to this idea of the trucks. That's not what I'm opposed to, but I'm opposed on the grounds that I need to see improvements for the neighbors and that before I'm willing to grant more stuff over there. Just because I think it's important. These are big issues for these neighbors, and I think we need to be strong about it. And like I said, I'm not opposed to coming back and approving this, if these things are met. I'm not against the idea of it, but I'm concerned.
I'd have to agree, but the only concern I have is, item has been probably talked about at Planning Commission for 6 months, 7 months, 12 months.
Not that long.
And it was known at,
Feels that long. I think it's 3 or 4 months.
is it really only 3 or 4?
Yes.
It's at least, okay, 3 or 4 months ago, it was known that there is a noise problem there. And the noise problem hasn't stopped in 3 months. I have no faith that it will stop ever.
If we give this, I think we need to address these things, and then we can move forward.
I have a question. Do you know what the noise problem is coming from? What is it?
So sometimes on the weekends, we have live music, we'll have a live band. Yeah, we have technically a live band playing, but it's on the far corner over here. But we can, from when last hearing to today, the boat was mine, it's gone. We sold one of the taco trucks because we had to, put some more money in the building. None of that is there anymore. We only have this truck, which we are trying to, put to work. But, we're willing to comply with, bringing down the noise levels, just,
Well, from what I'm hearing, it seems that you haven't done that. Like the police have come out many times.
Correct, yeah, because
And
there's
so what
always
happens
calls,
when
and
the
like I said, I've
when the
walked all
poli-
around the whole,
When the police come out, what happens? They tell you that it's too noisy and you
yeah, and
turn it down, or you tell the bands to?
yeah, we turn it down, and normally they'll hang out on a lot for a while till we bar close, pretty much.
The last time it was, I think, last week or a couple 2 weeks, the police show up around 1, maybe that's when she said it was August 7 or something. So he told me, he spoke to me, and he said, the loud music is not too much outside, but people are complaining. So you should like watch how we close. And the band was finished like in 5 minutes, and we're done. But the loud music is sometimes when we hire the banda, the drummers or the bass, that's when the songs come out.
So we're getting far astray here. I don't know what your internal policies are. I would suggest that you have a policy that the music isn't loud. And if it is loud, the cops are gonna come and make you turn it down, and I could lose my restaurant. And I don't wanna do that. So keep the music down, buddy. I think that's probably a good policy. Do you think?
Yeah, we can keep it.
If you wait for the
decent.
police to come and say, oh, well, I guess we'll turn it down now that they're here, you've probably blown the whole idea of what you're supposed to be doing, right?
I understand.
So if we are to approve this, I'd like to make that amendment to have a requirement for a fence along that portion of the property if we're going to.
Now, the fence isn't gonna do anything
I
for the
know, but-
noise, is it?
At the end of the day,
Okay,
to
so
get
the fence
property-
is for,
For improvement to the property so that there is at least a physical barrier
Their
between
backyards are
these
shielded
homeowners
from it.
that have had such and such people
You don't want the
basically
fence, we
invade,
don't.
more or less.
And they don't have to look at all this.
And then they, frankly, a number of the things that they might have to look at would be less visible for the moment. And it's with the understanding regardless that if they can't handle the first special use that they have for the restaurant and the property itself, that this is all gonna collapse regardless. So,
So
but to give
so-
them the
so-
ability to have this vehicle now,
Can I summarize everything?
Yeah.
In order for them to park the truck on the property,
Yeah.
they will have to make the improvements to the landscaping, submit a plan for the landscaping, install a 150-foot fence, probably of some solid board-on-board material. Until that gets done, they're not allowed to park the truck there, operate?
And the sound has to be addressed.
Well, the sound is, well, yeah.
Sound has to be addressed
the
anyways.
sound is
Yeah.
getting addressed regardless, but
yeah.
for this,
That would be the
Yes.
structure of that.
yeah.
They cannot park it there until they put the landscaping in, put the fence up, and winter's coming. But
What was the previous requirement for the landscape? Was there a previous requirement?
Previously, there was not a landscape plan on file that we could find, which is why we had requested that they create one. Originally, I believe that they appeared in July
Yep.
before Plan Commission. At that time, we had talked about some of the missing landscaping, and Plan Commission tabled it for a month, so that way they had the opportunity to create a landscape plan.
Is there a landscape plan anywhere?
No.
I saw on the
Other than that,
slide here,
Dennis.
Yeah.
it says the design that they submitted makes no sense. I don't know when that was written, by our city forester.
So, I mean,
This is the landscape plan that they submitted between the July and August Plan Commission meeting. These comments are recent from Dennis. They're within the last month
Correct, yeah.
or so.
So as of now, it's completely different. So we remulched the whole part with the weeds
Right.
and all that. We painted the parking lot, we redid all the parking space stripes and everything. So we're just waiting on but honestly, we sent that plan and it wasn't approved, so we're kind of confused on what we have to do. Like,
The first time I talked to Gina, it was the landscaping, when he gave me a quote, it was for 50,000 grand on landscaping. and I thought it was too expensive. So it's almost fall, almost winter, and how I was gonna spend $50,000 for planting flowers this year, and it doesn't make sense for winter. That's why we had like another plan, the landscaping. It was less than cheaper than the first one, but it's still looking pretty now.
Correct. As of now, it's completely clean. We're just waiting for the approval so we can, start planting
Okay,
trees
so
and
this
flowers.
plan doesn't make any sense, so this plan can't be approved.
Okay.
So we have to get a plan that can be approved and that we can put in. That has to happen.
Carl, you're suggesting then a 6-month or 1-year extension for them to solve all of these issues? Or just not at all? I know, and this, I'm just,
I
so I
mean,
understand.
keep the
I mean,
music down while the
Yes.
complaints are happening, while you're looking for an improvement, would be a logical thing to do if I was, but that did not happen.
Yeah.
So I don't have much faith that,
Okay. Anyone else with opinions?
I think we
Comments,
wait for we
questions,
have an
concerns?
approved plan in order to do it and
Okay.
hope
Okay.
that it, I mean, the restaurant can operate, just
There,
expanding,
there are 3 things you can do tonight. You can approve the special use with conditions. You can deny the special use that's being proposed. Or you can say the public hearing's over, evidence has been taken, and we're not going to make a decision tonight. Or you can say, we're not gonna make a decision until
Such and such is done.
something is that, so that we have a complete record of what they're actually doing and what they're actually proposing.
I like that one.
I do
If we're
too.
voting on that,
So
feedback, whatever.
So it's a motion to table.
it's
We have
not a
to-
motion to table, it's a motion to close the
Close the
public
public
hearing.
That first, yes.
Because tabling isn't some, and not to make a decision.
Yes, so I'll make a motion to close the public hearing unless anyone else has any other questions.
Did Mike ask 6 times?
Yeah, you have to say it,
What do I have to say? I'd entertain
you-
a motion to close the public hearing.
or, okay.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against for informational purpose? Okay, ma'am?
Yes, so to get my understanding correctly, so we are here for getting to try the kitchen base for the food truck, right? That's what we want to do, but because I'm kind of confused. So if we want to have the permit, the special permit to start working for the taco truck, the taco truck is not gonna be in the property. It's gonna be working in other part of the city.
This is just to
But-
use this is just basically to store the truck on your property and use your restaurant as a home base.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with the truck going somewhere else but you can't use your restaurant as a home base until you're allowed to.
So
And I'm
to
guessing you're already doing it, right?
No, we're not. It's
No.
been sitting there for like.
To
a
get the
year.
permit for the taco truck, that's why we have to make a new landscaping plan? That's how it works?
So what it did is so when you moved into that building, there were certain conditions associated with the previous special use, which were to maintain it, make it look good and all that stuff, right? And not to store stuff on the property and all the other stuff that we kind of alluded to. And not to create nuisances, right? The noise is a nuisance,
Okay,
right? So you're responsible to do all that stuff anyways. When you came forward with your food truck, you allowed us to review what you should be doing and what you're not doing,
I agree.
okay? So one could argue, well, if we didn't bring that food truck in, we'd still be violating all this other stuff, but at least they wouldn't be hassling us, kind of, as much. The
Yeah.
reality is that sooner or later, the noise complaints will rise to the level that you could be considered a nuisance property, right? And if you're considered a nuisance property, we can take away your underlying special use, irrespective of the food truck or the fence or the plants or anything, right? And you don't want that. We could also say, right, and I think we've tried to be incredibly generous with time and giving you time, because we understand the world is a tough place, right? But at some point, there's got to be a real serious improvement. And I understand that you're doing certain things to improve the property, and it's gonna cost money to do things to improve the property. And we've been talking about it for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, about improving the property. And that's a problem, right? So right now, it sounds like the motion is going to be to not take any action, and not decide on whether or not you can have the truck. They're not denying it, but they're not approving it. So it seems to me that if I were you, generally speaking, and I'm not you, and you can do whatever you want, because I have no skin in this game whatsoever, that you would make sure that you get a real landscaping plan, even if it costs a couple bucks. You would have a real plan to put that landscaping plan in. If you're contemplating double doors to keep the sound down, that you do that. Consider the fence along their property line as an accommodation, even if it doesn't completely help. And every time you have a musician that walks through that door or a DJ, you stay on them to keep the bass down. Because if you don't do that, they're gonna keep showing up. They're gonna keep hearing about it. The police officer in the back over there, who didn't think he'd be here for 2 hours, is gonna, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Right? That's what I would do, but it's up to you.
So,
And I think I've just said that a couple times
yeah.
already in other meetings, but.
So what about?
Where are we now, as far as?
I'd entertain, does anyone else want to speak for or against informational purposes concerning this item? Does anyone want to speak for or against for informational purposes concerning this item? I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing
Motion.
at 8:11 by Driswicky, second by Akers. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Does the council wish to take any action at this time?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I guess,
They know what
yeah,
needs to be done.
right? So the council doesn't want to engage in decision-making at this point, right? And the minutes should reflect that.
And
Place on a future
if we bring
agenda?
it back, will the notices go out to the,
So one thing that I would suggest that the late, I think it was you, that didn't have her address or she wasn't getting a notice, we have your name and address now. We'll look at your address to see what it is, and Gina will write you a letter saying this is who the notice has been going to, which is probably the guy that still owns the house.
I know who it is.
I'm just, so what we're gonna do is we'll make sure in the event that there's another notice or there's something going on, that you are informed, okay?
Thank you. I just have a question.
You can't ask questions as a meeting, but generally speaking, on your way out the door, what your question?
Police them when stuff happens, like I almost get killed or my dog's almost from your ATV. That's what I should do.
Yes.
If there's someone
Yes.
driving an ATV around a property in the city of Greenfield or doing something, or people on mini bikes on the Power Line Trail, or driving down Loomis Avenue, or if people are drag racing in their parking lot, if any of that stuff happens, you should let the police know. And unless it's an emergency, you should use the administrative line, don't dial 911 unless it's life or death, the non-emergency number, okay? Yes?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, so moving on, KO business, I don't have any appointments under K. I'm going to L, received a claim from Louise Ann Johnson.
The claim was referred to the city's legal counsel.
Item L2, adopt an ordinance amending section 1301 of the Greenfield Municipal Code relating to cigarette, tobacco, and electronic vaping products. Entertain a motion to approve. This essentially brings vaping products into the same.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Driswick, is there a second?
second,
Second,
under
Alderperson
discussion,
Akers.
there's a new vaping drug, or, what do they call it? It's got a
Eventually,
little
we'll
blue-
continue to amend as necessary
that
to,
blue
to
stuff
prevent
that
all
they're
this. Yeah.
banning in places.
So just so everyone's aware, all electronic vaping will be sort of illegal by September 1st unless they've been approved by, I think, the Food and Drug Administration.
This is not.
So all the
vaping per
vaping
se.
is kind of disappearing right now unless they can get approved.
This is like blue liquid or blue something.
I don't know what that is.
Is sold to, kids can buy it, it's at the vape shops and gas stations.
I don't know what it
And
is.
it's
It's
the
gonna-
next wave of opium, or opioids. It's more addictive than any of them.
I don't know. I honestly, I'll look for you. I don't know what it is.
I have to, I know it was in a blue bottle, so it was blue something, but maybe that's something we
It's
can get
beyond, it's
to.
beyond this amendment to this
Yes, it is, but it
ordinance, yeah.
brought it to my attention
Yeah.
and we need to look at it.
We will
I think
find it.
technically
All I can say
kids
is they-
cannot buy it at the vape stores.
I bought a bag of Funyuns the other day, and now I'm addicted to those single day, and they're like $4.50 now. I love Funyuns.
They're only
They're
four?
not,
I thought
I don't
they're
know what
not
they put in
6.
them. Maybe it's some of that blue stuff. I could just eat Funyuns nonstop.
Okay, we
All
can.
right,
vote.
again, for the minutes,
All right,
motion to
motion was made
approve.
and seconded. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey, Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Item
3.
L3, approve a resolution to affirm membership commitment to the cities and villages municipal insurance company, CIVMIC, and set annual premiums for policy years 26, 27, and 28. Enter,
Motion for approval.
and is this where you?
No
want this?
substantial
Yeah.
changes.
Like
Okay,
that
so there's
they are.
one thing that we have to do, our self-insured retention, it's either 37.5 or 50,000. It's currently 37.5. The analysis suggests that although the 37.5 self-insured is like a deductible,
Yeah.
is more expensive, the sheer amount of claims that we're getting suggests that it's the right thing to do. So even though it's a little bit more,
It's more cost effective.
it's
in the end.
probably more cost-effective to keep the self-insured retention at the lower amount, even though it costs more. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Is that your
Okay,
motion?
so I would ask that the self-insured retention be chosen at the 37.5, or we agree that that's what it is?
Yes.
Okay,
Second, do we need?
so the motion was made by Kastner, was it? Was there a motion made?
Is it-
Yeah.
was
By
it
Kastner, is there a
Kastner?
second? By Alderperson Bailey?
Bailey.
Okay, could you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Item L4, approve applications for 25 and 26 operator licenses. Entertain a motion to approve, subject to all the
Motion to approve.
appliances and stuff.
Second.
Motion by Akers, second by Bailey, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 5 is approve change of agent from Brian Wheatley to Mackenzie Barrow at 14890 West College Avenue for the Class A fermented malt beverage retail license held by Walgreens. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Akers, second by Alderperson Bailey, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 6 is approve an application for parade license and request to waive the license fee received from the Greenfield High School Student Senate to conduct a parade on October 3rd, 2025, 3:30 PM to 6:30 PM. This is the one on Edgerton Avenue, and we didn't seem to have any problems last year with it at all, with people claiming they couldn't get out. Entertain a motion to approve and waive the fee.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Druzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian, because there's a fee waiver, could you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey, Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Item 7 is to approve an application for temporary Class B fermented beverage and Class B wine retailer's license and request to waive the fee from the Greenfield Professional Firefighters Benevolence and Charities for a toasting for charity event on November 15th. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Akers, second by
Second.
Druzwicki. Would you call because there's a waiver?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
It's gonna be loud there, but aye.
We fixed that window.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye. And they're usually not that loud.
Okay, we're going to take items 8, 9, 10, and 11 together. These are outdoor special event applications for the House of Harley Davidson. First is for our National Guard Ride event on August 22nd. On August 23rd is the Harley's Big Al Wetzel Ride. Not sure who Al Wetzel is. Who is that? Huh? No.
Actually, Greenfield Appreciation Day, Big Al Wetzel Band is playing.
Oh,
All monies that are accrued from the bar food is being cooked by Local 215. Monies are going to be spread between Greenfield PD, Greenfield Fire, Greenfield Schools, Greenfield Parks and Rec.
so we should approve that one, huh?
Come one, come all, because the bar, the money's collected, oh, can't have older Ford pickup trucks, those are not
Oh.
allowed. But everybody else's vehicles can be bought at this event.
Good call.
So,
Good call.
this is
Especially
Saturday.
blue ones, right? It's blue ones only.
Blue, thank you.
Yeah.
That's for this Saturday.
I might have to get out the veto pen then. We can veto this, you know.
We can overrule them, don't worry.
Not gonna veto it. Okay, so Big Al Wetzel Ride Event. There's one for the 2025 sale event on August 30th, and then there's one for the National Fall Event on September 13th. Does that sound like all of them? Entertain a motion to approve those events as presented.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Driswick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay. Item 12 is approve an outdoor special event application for Bloomels Fall Fest to be located at Bloomels on September 20th. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 13 has been removed because of the damage that happened at Klawicki Park. That was an outdoor softball game.
Motion for approval.
No, no, there,
To
no.
approve
So
what, the
13
flood?
is removed from the agenda, right? I think. Do we want to approve it just in the event that they do it?
We're talking probably come back next year at this time.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Okay, item 14, adopt an ordinance to amend section 9, or 10.19, parent 2, parent little b, of the Code of Ordinance for the city of Greenfield pertaining to dogs and parks. Entertain a motion to approve.
What's the change?
We're not allowing dogs in parks anymore. It's just the opposite. They're essentially being allowed
This is the
almost
format.
everywhere for almost everything.
Okay.
Fair? Except on ball diamonds and stuff like,
Athletic fields.
yeah, but, so.
Still leash, still has to pick up after yourself.
Yeah, so historic, I mean, it was really hard to say, well, you can do it here, and
your
that little
dog.
area you can't do it, so the rules apply. and so-
6-foot leash and all the other, and have to have a bag and, okay.
The rest of the ordinance stays intact, it's just that little section that carved out when.
In the spirit of compromise
I
many
can't
years
hear,
ago.
didn't hear what he said. He didn't finish, and you interrupted.
Be quiet, Michael.
So basically, the way the ordinance is recrafted, it just only affects that item B, which used to state certain days you could, certain days you couldn't, this time you could, this time, which is basically unenforceable, and it became a communication nightmare. Last year at this time, the council by policy allowed dogs at the farmer's market. We've been monitoring that. There's been really no issues at the farmer's market, the remaining of last year and so far this year. And now we're recommending that the council approve the rewritten ordinance that I worked with the city attorney on to allow dogs, leashed dogs, still to pick up after themselves basically in the parks other than athletic fields, playground areas, in the shelter areas basically.
Okay, motion was made and,
Nope, I need a
motion to improve.
Motion to approve.
By Driswicky, second by Bailey. Would you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
No.
Alderperson Akers,
Aye.
Item 15, discussion decision regarding agreement with Clem Floats. I'd entertain a motion to approve. This
Motion to
by
approve.
Alderperson Akers. Is there a second?
Second.
By Alderperson Driswicky. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey, Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers,
Aye.
Item 16, discussion decision regarding an agreement with the Village of Brown Deer to participate in the Market Perks Program. This was just added. This is a, do you want to explain it? It never went to committee, so that's.
So basically,
Just
well,
generally.
probably best if I had Kyle, he was
Just-
just worked on it, but.
So the market match program is ending at the end of the year. Another way to get people to our vendors is the Market Perks program, which a number of local farmers markets are coming together to. It'll be similar to like a health program for businesses where they'll be able to buy these vouchers for their
You think it's
Staff?
you think it's a good idea?
I do.
For the
Fantastic.
farmer's market, yeah. Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Akers, second by Alderperson Driswicky. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Item 17, approve a license agreement with We Energies for the Power Line Trail Phase 3. Entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Akers, Driswicky, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
That's still on schedule for 2026, Phase
Correct.
3?
Yes.
So
And that's going to be exactly where?
That's roughly Layton to Hales Corners. Right?
Correct.
And it
Starting next year.
Correct.
should, yeah, if everything goes well. That includes the reconstruction of the bridge that was taken down in there that prevents it being used now, so. Okay. Item 18, approve an agreement with Cobalt 92 LLC and RJ 92 LLC for the assignment of a drainage easement and related rights, title, and interest to the city.
Heck, yes. I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderperson Akers, there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Is this going, just for a point of information, this is going to go by the fire station on 92nd Street?
Correct.
And this could help future flooding in the subdivision to the east.
Yes.
All of the subdivisions on that side of town would
And
would
did we
benefit
open the
from this.
bids on that project yet?
Yes, we did.
And when do you think that might
I
start?
think that we might have a special common council meeting at the beginning of September to approve that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item 19, it's just, without trying to get into too much detail,
Then don't talk.
there's some cost sharing that needed to be done with Cobalt. The Cobalt needed to pay part of it, and I think they've agreed, at least as what I remember reading today, they've agreed to participate, which makes it go smoothly.
Okay.
Item 19, approve a contract for the project 2008 Pondview dredging with New Berlin grading in the amount of $739,796.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Akers, there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky.
Can-
This is critically important for flooding issues on the east side of town, as the pond has filled in.
I guess this is obvious an issue because it's our pond. How do we regulate the ponds that are owned by private entities to ensure that they do the same kind of maintenance as we are doing?
In an annual basis, right now, we require them to submit paperwork certifying that they maintain their ponds.
Okay.
There are steps that could be taken further, but that has ramifications to property owners, such as getting them certified by a professional engineer. That has an additional cost to property owners.
That reminds me of the one up on the Highlands, is it? We've had to deal with that pond a few times in the past.
Yeah, that pond.
That was
that
more
was a
not a-
different, that was a different issue.
That was a
But
different
we-
issue. It
we-
wasn't a
that,
maintenance.
But we do
Yeah.
deal with them.
Yeah.
Improperly installed, maybe more so.
Yeah.
I think VC actually did make improvements and did maintain it since,
Yeah, we,
like, recently.
yeah.
But there's others in our city. There's a
Yeah.
ton of them,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so did we vote on that? Would you please call? Is that okay? We call, yeah.
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay, item 20 is approve a turf skateboard park storm sewer easement agreement with Cobalt LLC on vacant lands in the 4200 block of West Loomis. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey, Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Item 21, approve a park and ride lot storm sewer easement agreement with Cobalt Loomis LLC on vacant lands in the 4200 block of West Loomis Road. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Drzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sharon, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay, item 22, approve a certified survey map for the proposed land combinations of 4205, 4239, and 4253 West Loomis Road submitted by Bill Ohm, doing business as Cobalt Partners LLC. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Drzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay. Items 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 were
Through
all,
30, sir, these have been vetted. It has to do with just some cleaning up of the Greenfield Municipal Code regarding parking and stop signage.
right. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a motion to approve
I'll make a motion to approve all those items.
23 through 30, which were all at the Board of Public Works.
Right.
I'd make
Vetted by the Board of Public Works.
So
I'll second that.
Motion by Alderperson Akers, second by Alderperson Bailey. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay, items 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43 were all from the August 13th Finance and Human Resources Committee. I'd entertain a motion to approve all of those items unless somebody wants to take one separately.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Drzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sharon, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Okay, next one item for future agenda. Anybody got anything exciting?
Just what I've got legislative to look at,
What's that?
that new opioid.
Legislative committee needs to,
Yeah,
We'll
that's
find
what I
it.
said.
We'll
yeah.
figure it out. We'll find it. We'll take care of it.
what we could do is we could ask our health department and police
that sounds
department.
like a good
Is there
idea.
some blue stuff in gas stations now that kids are getting addicted to?
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't
Florida
either.
just banned it.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Florida bans all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, well, they banned
Okay.
semi-drivers too, I think.
So there's a couple things that will likely be forthcoming. We will need a special common council meeting probably in the first week right after Labor Day for two things. The first thing relates to the contract, which was bid on, accepted, and all that stuff, which still needed to get some things resolved, which looks like we finally got it resolved, kind of-ish, not completely.
It's pretty close.
For the first week to talk about the sewer that Alderperson Bailey's been talking about. The second thing relates to potentially an agreement with regard to the parking lot at the turf relating to potential agreements and requirements by the state to have easements or not have easements or have stormwater management plans that we've been kind of dealing with today. I think we kind of have that figured out though too. So, and there may be other items that are forthcoming. Okay, with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:33.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
By Alderperson Akers, second by Alderperson Drzwicki. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.